What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? RJD here. Listen, we started it off a little bit different today because I am still under the weather, but we are still here rocking out. Yes, we got the double screen going on. Hit Don DeMarco. We here. Let's go. What's going on? Once again, RJD here. Welcome to Rashonology. And where we give you the latest and greatest in sports, entertainment, and other things, politics, everything and anything. We talk about it here on Rashonology. Now, listen, I want to get into, I know we've had some doom and gloom. We've had some Travis Hunter recently. We've had a couple of different things. But today, I'm going to talk about sports. It's been a while since I conversated about this, and I want to talk about it. So I want to talk about NFL, NBA ratings, Netflix. Let's talk about it. But before we do, there's no video today, obviously. But what we're going to do is we're going to hit the like button. Hit the like button. Follow Rashonology on YouTube. There is no video, as we would say. Go to the video, but there's no video. But the ticker is rolling across the bottom of your screen. So hit the like button. And let's talk about it. So, Netflix had NFL games, I believe it had some NBA games, and had a Beyonce concert. Shout out to the Queen Bee over there. But let's see what we got going on here with that. All right, so this is per the HollywoodReporter.com. The first NFL games on Netflix brought a big audience for the streamers and the biggest ever for a streaming NFL matchup, but they came up short of the audience for last year's Yuletide contest that ran on broadcast networks. The NBA also enjoyed a fruitful Christmas with its 5-game slate growing by a collective 84% from a year ago. The Netflix 2 games averaged 24.2 million viewers according to Nielsen Fast National Ratings. Nielsen is providing the U.S. data for games in the NFL. And the early afternoon matchup between Kansas City Chiefs and Pittsburgh Steelers posted about 24.1 million viewers, and the Baltimore Ravens smashing the Houston Texans came up and 24.3 million viewers. But this report is talking about at least 65 million tuned in for Netflix NFL Christmas Day games. NBA holiday ratings also skyrocket. So there's been talk about the NBA losing ratings, which I have an article on that. We're going to read it. And then there's been talking about the NFL gaining ratings. Now, I like all the major sports. I like sports, so I like all of them. And I do try to support my local sports team. But as a New Yorker, it is very difficult. The Knicks are making it easy this year. I think they're third in the East. They had a good run last year. This year, let's see what happens. But they had a lot of injuries last year, too. And the Yankees just, I don't know. Yankees lost in the World Series. Then they lost Soto. And in the World Series, they actually should have won the World Series. But we're not going to get into all that. Next year is a new year. And I'll pray for my Yankees because they're going to need it next year without Soto in the lineup. But what I will say is that Netflix is making some big moves. They got WWE going there January 6th. They're streaming the NFL games. They're streaming the NBA games. So this is great because everything for years now has been moving to streaming. But one of the problems, and excuse me if I sound nasally, if you know, you know. I was sick yesterday, but I came on. I'm sick here today, but we here, baby. We here. But one of the problems is the NBA. I don't know what's going on with the NBA. It's like LeBron James can't leave. It's like, I don't know if he wants to leave, if he can't leave, if they won't let him leave. I don't know. Like, remember in Space Jam where the guy had Michael Jordan's ankle locked up and he was like, you're going to be playing against everybody and you'll always lose. And he had him chained to the freaking thing in Space Jam. I don't know if that's what's going on with LeBron. The brother is 40 years old. I remember LeBron got in there. I was in high school when LeBron got into the league. high school, and he is still balling out of control. Craziness. I mean, $1 million on your body every year. I mean, that is your biggest investment. I mean, most people don't even spend $30 on their body in Planet Fitness or Blink or something. So it makes a lot of sense how he's still able to play at such a high level. But I don't know if the NBA has a problem, like a star problem. The NFL kind of is the star. The NFL has stars in it, but the NFL is the star. The NBA kind of, you got LeBron, you got Ant-Man, Embiid, you got Steph, you got a whole bunch of stars, but I don't know what the problem is. Let's start here. One of the issues before we get into the ratings and all that. One of the issues I have with the NBA, well, that a lot of people have with the NBA, is it's hard as hell to watch a game. It's like you gotta buy a subscription to buy another subscription to buy another subscription to get access to the games. That's what a lot of people are saying. I don't know. I don't have any of these subscriptions. But if that's the case, nope. Hard pass on that. You got to pay $10 for this, $12 for this, and $13 for this. So a lot of people are irritated at that. And you have things going on as the All-Star game where it's basically a glorified pickup game, but the All-Star game used to be about the best versus the best in the East versus the best in the West. Yeah, you don't got to get all crazy. It don't got to be like the NBA Finals, but you want to see what this team is going to look like versus this team. And the guys back in the day took pride in that. Now, for the first quarter and a half, it was, it was fun. It was lighthearted. There was a little bit of defense. The scores really didn't go too crazy, but maybe right before halftime, and then at the end of the game, because the scores were always typically pretty close, and then at the last 5 minutes of the game, the last 6 minutes of the game, you got to see the best versus the best, and you got to see everybody in their prime, the East versus the West. Now it has just become, I don't know what the hell these guys are. Like, I saw the All-Star game, I want to say 2 years ago. They're trying to add different things to it. Oh, everybody gets to pick their teams, and Team LeBron versus Team Steph, and then they pick different people, and that's how it is. And then before it was the fans voting the starters, and then I guess the coaches and whoever, the league picks the alternates, the people on the bench, and then those are your all-stars. Now they had a couple of years ago, Team LeBron versus Team this one. They try to add stipulations so the players give a shit. The players don't give a shit. It's basically an alley-oop, layup line, and a bunch of threes from half court. And it's almost like it's more about who's in the crowd, what celebrities show up, than it is about anything else. Who's in the front row? Who's in this row? More so than the best versus the best. I grew up in a time where I can't remember what All-Star game it was. So don't quote me because I can't remember. But I want to say around 2000 to 2002 or 3. It was one of those 3 All-Star games. It was Allen Iverson, T-Mac, Vince, KG, who else? Oh, Shaq. It was all of the Duncan, Kobe. It was all of those guys versus each other. And it was like they got serious. Like, I remember KG, Tracy McGrady was trying to guard, and I know somebody in the comments can help me with this because I know somebody knows. It was like Tracy McGrady had to guard Kevin Garnett, and he just couldn't guard him. KG was just too damn big. And he would just post him up, hit him with the little fadeaway, and T-Mac didn't have nothing for him. But at the end of that game, go back and watch, because I recently saw it. I don't know if it was TikTok. I can't remember. But go back and watch the last 5 minutes. The last 5 minutes. It was Duncan. It was Shaq. It was AI. I think it was 2001. Because I know Allen Iverson was at the end of the game, Allen Iverson was in the game. So I think it was Kevin Garnett was in the game. It probably was around 2001, 2002. But these guys were playing serious. And I mean, it was like, oh. And it was like, there was no fluff. They were playing serious. Obviously not trying to hurt each other, but They wanted to win. It was like, nah, F that. We try to beat y'all. But nowadays, it's like they don't give a shit. So it's like, if they don't give a shit, why should we give a shit? And unfortunately, that's the nature of the All-Star game now. And it's unfortunate because there are very talented players on both sides, East, West. And you want to see how they fare up against each other because, I mean, nobody wants to see 200. I mean, didn't the All-Star game a couple of years ago, it was like the first person to 205 points or some shit. It was crazy. It was like, and I get you trying to put different spins on it. You're trying to make it mean something. Maybe you give them a cash incentive. Who knows? But these guys got enough money. I mean, there's going to be billion-dollar contracts in the NBA soon. There's going to be a billion-dollar contract in my lifetime, and I'm only 37. There's going to be a billion-dollar contract in baseball in the next 5 years. Somebody's going to get a billion-dollar contract. What? What? So that's going to happen. And then the NBA is right behind them. Now, you ain't ever going to see that in football because it's too violent. But what you might see in football is more guaranteed money. So somebody might get 50 million, they might get 40 million guaranteed, or they might get $100 million contract with 60 million guaranteed. And a quarterback probably will get that first. Didn't this dude get 500 million for the Kansas City Chiefs? Mr. Mahomes. I think Mahomes got 500, or 400, whatever he got. Somebody's gonna. Football is kind of hard because if you're not a quarterback, it's kind of hard to stay on the field. So I mean, whatever. But these contracts are just going higher and higher. The teams are making more and more money. So we ain't gonna sit here and say that money ain't being made. More money is being made than ever before. But what I will say is, I think that's the NBA's problem. The NFL is an exciting game. People love the NFL. It's violent, even though they try to make it safer than it used to be. It's a violent game. It's a fun game. Everybody likes it. Makes a lot of money. Great, cool. Baseball was America's pastime. Now I think it's football because more people watch the damn Super Bowl than anything else. And excuse my voice here. We're going to power through. But at the end of the day, postseason baseball, it's electrifying, baby. It's electrifying. So we're not going to sit here up here and say that. So let's talk about what we had going on. So if we're looking in this article, and this is APN News, this is an article. The Baltimore Ravens 31-2 victory over the Houston Texans averaged 24.3 million viewers. Kansas City 29-10 win versus Pittsburgh averaged 24.1 viewers, according to early viewer figures. Now, the NBA had a 5-game slate, and they all averaged around 5.25 viewers across the games on ABC and ESPN platforms. So right there, people five times more people are watching the NFL than the NBA right there. Now, so let's get to this. I want to get to the Beyonce joint. How many viewers did Beyonce get? I'm sure she got a lot for her halftime show. So let's see. The NFL and Nielsen says 65 million U.S. viewers tuned in for at least 1 minute of one of the two NFL games. So at one point in time, Netflix had 65 million people watching football. Wow. And who knows how many people tuned in for the Beyonce halftime thing. You know she got a lot of viewers. So we're not going to sit up here and say, okay, so a 13-minute halftime performance. Oh, okay, here we go. Viewership for the Ravens peaked with the Beyonce Bowl. The nearly 13-minute halftime performance averaged over 27 million viewers. There it is. 27 million viewers for the Beyonce Bowl. I think she did her the Carter album, the Cowboy album. She did a lot of songs off of there. They were in Houston. Great. Good for her. That was awesome. It's Beyonce. So everybody loves Beyonce. So that's fine. But yeah, and a lot of people, you gotta understand, if you go to Netflix, the reason you go to Netflix is to get the major global viewership. Because Netflix is all over the world. Everybody has Netflix all over the world. So all of those overseas movies, all of the movies from the UK, all of the movies from Korea, all of those movies are on Netflix. Netflix probably has an unlimited supply. And when I say unlimited, I mean unlimited. An unlimited supply of content from all over the world, from everywhere. So, and the more you watch, the more it caters to your watch style and it gives you other things. So that's why you could, if you like to watch TV and stuff like that, you will never run out of things to watch on Netflix, ever. Because there's stuff on Netflix that you haven't even seen. And that's not even to mention the old stuff that they brought back from like Evil. Evil just finished up, right? The show Evil with the guy that plays Luke Cage. I forget his name. It escapes me right now. But that show just finished up, and they're putting the third season. They got 4 seasons, and they're putting the third season on Netflix now. And then they're gonna put the 4th season after that. So that show's already done. I think Blood and Bone got to Netflix recently. I think a year or 2 ago. I think it's off now. But Blood and Bone got to Netflix. I remember I saw an interview. Michael John White said that movie mad old. I did that movie in like 2010 or some shit or something like that. He said so, and then he said he was generating more revenue now that it got to Netflix. So the old stuff that they're gonna recycle and bring back that goes off of network TV, they just bring it back. Heels is another one. If you like wrestling, you know about Heels. Warriors was another one. They put Warriors on Netflix. Warriors ended. About 6 to 8 months later, it was on Netflix. And then all of a sudden, you see Warriors in my top 10. Warriors been old. The fans really wanted that 3rd season for it to end up. I wish they'd make a 4th season, but they canceled it. They could end it off nice, but they don't want to do it. It is what it is. So it is, you got to look at the global aspect. So the more eyeballs, it's all about eyeballs. That's what this economy is. Attention. Everything is fighting for your attention. Nobody's watching TV anymore. TV is this. This is TV. TV is YouTube. TV is TikTok. TV is in the palm of your hand. That's TV. TV is no longer sitting in front of a TV screen like this. The younger generation, probably the millennials and everything under the millennials, the millennials grew up with this stuff. But there's a whole generation, but after the millennials, I forget if it's Gen Z. I don't know the damn generations, but I know millennials because that's me. I fit in that category. And I think Gen Z's after the millennials. They ain't grow up. They don't know what a beeper is. They don't know what a beeper is, an 8-track is. They don't know what a cassette player is. They grew up with screens. They grew up with technology. See, I'm old enough to remember a beeper. I had one of those. So I grew up with the beeper, then the cell phone, then the Sidekick, then the BlackBerry, then we got into the iPhones and all the other stuff. But I had all of those phones. And the chirp, I'm old enough to remember that. There are people right now that are like 20, 15, 18, 20, 22. They don't know a beeper. What the hell is that? A cassette player? What the hell is a cassette player? A CD? What's a CD? They don't CD. We don't put things on CDs. So the newer generation, I mean, they got freaking ChatGPT. I can imagine if I had that shit. If I had that shit in school. I'm glad I didn't. But they're not growing up watching TV. Everything is at the palm of their hand. So only the older generations, like my parents and their parents, are watching TV like that. So everything is about how can we get in front of you and keep your attention. And the more they put this stuff on Netflix, the more stuff they start streaming, the more eyeballs they can get to. And Netflix right now, what's Netflix stock out right now? Almost 1,000. So $1,000 a share, man. And remember, Netflix was in trouble a couple of years ago. Y'all remember that? Netflix was in trouble. The first thing they did was they cut that password sharing. They cut that crap off. Their revenue went up. And then they started making these deals. And here we go. And Netflix doesn't show you numbers. And they don't show you how much money. They don't show you money. They don't show you numbers. They keep everything in the house. So you don't know what's going on over there. But here we are. So another thing is Netflix is only going to get better when it comes to streaming the football games and the basketball games. They're only going to get better because you got WWE coming there, the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight. Everybody couldn't get on. I couldn't get on for a period of time. I had to kind of let it play out. That tells you how many people were on the damn servers. The servers were kind of lagging. All they're going to do is fix that stuff. So the more time goes on, the more they're going to fix it. And as they continue to fix it, it'll continue to get better. And here we are. So I think the NFL, man, I don't know. You're still going to need network TV, but, man, cable TV is dying a slow death. I don't know how they keep up the revenue. People are watching stuff on Twitch and Twitter, X, formerly Twitter, and Facebook. I mean, Jesus Christ. So I don't know how they keep up. But NFL is doing this thing. But I want to talk about basketball real quick. Why are the ratings down? 3-pointers are up, and the disclosure is everywhere. I can't read this article. I thought I could read it. It ain't gonna let me read it. All right, so then let's see. It's still gonna let me read it. Oh, okay. So maybe it'll give me a couple minutes on here. Nope, won't let me do it. All right, so let me see. Where is my NBA TV ratings? Oh, let's see. New York Times. Let's read this. New York Times. All right. So I gotta subscribe for this too. Oh,
nope.
I just want to read the article. I want to see why are the ratings down. So it won't let me read that one. All right, so let's see. All right, so let's see where NBA ratings currently stand. All right. Through Saturday, NBA games were averaging 1.4 million viewers across ABC, ESPN, and TNT, down 19% from last year, with NBA TV included. The decline swells to 25%. The NBA's declines are disclosed largely in isolation, creating a popular perception that it's only a league whose viewership is down. The only league whose viewership is down considerably from a decade ago, plus that decline is disastrous. The first of two of those claims are demonstrably untrue, and the other coming. Okay, let's see. So I wanted to read the other article because I saw something in there, but it won't let me get to it. So let's see. For the NBA, which has its final season before a new 11-year media rights deal worth a total of $77 billion, ratings may matter less now than at any point in league history. Many of the same people transplanting the NBA ratings decline this season were predicting that the league would take less money in the media rights negotiation as opposed to tripling off the rights reels curve. Okay, so they got a good deal in place. They got a long deal too. But being that it won't let me do it, then we're just gonna get rid of that because it won't let me do it. So it won't let me get to what I wanted to read, but that's fine. The end of the day is this: NBA got a problem. The ratings are not where they should be. It's all about developing new stars. You had so many stars, like I was telling you about with that All-Star game I saw recently on, I think it was TikTok, where they actually were playing hard. All of those stars, all of those guys were household names. The Kevin Garnett's, the Shaquille O'Neal's, the Allen Iversons, the Tim Duncans, the Kobe's, the Vince Carters, the Tracy McGrady's, the the Ray Allens, the Dwayne Wades. Right now, you don't got a lot of household names. You have a lot of people who are nice, but who's a household name right now besides LeBron and Steph? LeBron, Steph, KD. I mean, just like worldwide appeal, maybe Steph and LeBron, Kevin Durant, maybe James Harden because of the beard. But who else is a worldwide brand? Now, that doesn't mean all of these players aren't nice. Obviously, you got people in the NBA who are stars, the Devin Bookers and all these other the Ant-Mans and all these other guys. The dude from the Spurs, I forgot his last name, but Wembley, I think. But these guys are not worldwide stars yet. Not on the level of a LeBron or a Steph or anything like that, or a James Harden even, or a Kevin Durant. So, and they still got a couple more years left. Like Steph might have a good 4 or 5 in them. Who else? KD might have a good 3, 4, 5 in them. James Harden still got some ball left. Kyrie's still up in there. So you had really stars driving the league back then. You don't really have that now. And I don't blame it on the threes, even though people take a lot of threes. People miss a lot of threes. Everybody can't be the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors kind of set that trend of we're going to take a lot of threes. But even back in the day, was it the Celtics with Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker? They were jacking up threes too. So taking threes is nothing new. People always think, oh, Golden State Warriors messed the game up because they take threes. No. There's been teams that took a lot of threes. That's nothing new. Like I said, I remember the Boston Celtics one year, Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker, all they were doing was jacking up threes. That's it. Well, they took like the most threes in the league. So it's not a new thing. But I think the style is different. A lot more Europeans in the league. Not that brings the league down. That actually makes the league more global. But there's not a lot of stars. Shout out to Luka. He's a star. But they I don't know what it is. It's like, I'm not going to say they don't care because that'd be nonsense.
Nope.
So I can't say they don't care. I just say, with the All-Star game, they damn sure don't care. They got to just get back to East versus West, maybe put in a stipulation. And I don't know what's going to incentivize those guys to play hard. Like I said, they don't got to play hard the whole game, but you want to see the best versus the best. That's why we watch the All-Star game. We want to see dunks, we watch the dunk contest. But we want to see the best versus the best. So